for a few more people to join. And then we're going to cover how to get over an ex, how to win the breakup. I look like one of the Olsen twins. That's the thing I get the most common is people think I look like the third Olsen, the actress. I can't remember her name. But thank you. All right, we're going to get into it today. What to do after a breakup, how to handle it like an ex-lover girl, and then, of course, what to do when he inevitably comes back because, yes, they always come back without fail. Thank you. You guys are so nice to me. All right. So first things first, when we're talking about breakups, once you know, for whatever reason, the breakup is over. Like you and him, there's no if, ands, or but. He's not the right man for you. First of all, acknowledging it takes a lot of bravery to step away from a man that you have deep feelings for. Whether you were together, 3 months or 3 years, it doesn't matter. It takes a lot of strength. And so recognizing that within yourself, that it is really, really difficult when you are emotionally attached to a man, you have a strong bond, maybe you and him have a routine together, you have a lot of mutual friends. It takes a lot of bravery and courage to step away from that man and choose yourself. But I always tell you guys, I'm going to hammer this home because it's so imperative. You have to always hold your self-respect higher than your feelings for a man. So even if you like him so much, you love him, he's your soulmate. If he's cheating on you, you have to choose yourself and walk away. And recognizing that's really difficult. If it was easy to walk away from a guy that you loved who was disrespecting you, everyone would do it. It would be really easy. But I think that is like one of the number one things that will help women walk away from a guy is just because it's hard to choose yourself over a man, just because it's hard to walk away from that guy, it doesn't mean it's not aligned for you. I think a lot of times women, they end things with a guy and they have 1 week without him and they're crying and they're sad and they miss him. And they misinterpret that to mean that guy is for them. Maybe they should get back together with that guy. But you have to really evaluate, okay, it's hard to miss him, but it was hard to date him. It was hard to be lied to my face. It was hard to have a guy who's hot and cold, whatever. So don't see missing a guy as a clue or a reason that you should go back to him. Choosing yourself is the badass choice. Choosing yourself is what's going to set you on a path for a better man. And if it was easy, you guys, I'm keeping it so fucking for real. If it was easy, everybody would do it. It's hard to walk away from a guy that you love. It's hard to choose yourself over somebody you love. And so number one, when we're covering breakups today, is recognizing the amount of courage and strength it takes to walk away from a guy like that. So that's number one. I want you guys to really recognize if you are going through a breakup, if you are hurting, if a guy cheated on you, whatever your scenario is, you are stronger than that. I want to remind you guys of that. Because when you are in the depths of the hurt and the pain that comes along with a breakup, it's really difficult to see the sun and be like, oh my God, what's on the other side of this? I will tell you, you know what's on the other side of that breakup from that loser man? A relationship with a great guy. But it takes going through the healing of that breakup, enduring the heartache, and becoming a better version of yourself. It takes going through that to attract an even better man. When I look back at the trajectory of my dating life, every time I went through a breakup, I used that pain to make myself better. So instead of sitting at home and crying and sulking, I'd kill it at the gym. I'd hone in on my career. I'd get out there and meet more people. And every boyfriend I attracted was better and better and better. It was like an upward trajectory. And I'm not special in that. All women possess the ability to alchemize the pain of a breakup into making themselves better. To the point where I would even argue that the universe brings into our reality these breakups so that we have the motivation to improve our lives. Because if our life was super content, there was no heartache, no pain, a lot of us, I'll speak for myself, I wouldn't have the motivation to up level. So sometimes breakups are divine. And I know that's hard to hear if you're going through one, but it helps to have a little bit of a bigger picture of what's really going on. So if you're just joining, we're covering today a little lesson of what to do if you are going through a breakup, what to do when they inevitably come back, because you guys know they always come back, and how to win like an ex-lover girl. So step number 1, you have to do a detox. If that guy is not the right guy for you long term, it is literally like a drug. Every time that you text that guy or you kiss him or you're intimate with him or you share a moment, your brain is flooding with oxytocin. Oxytocin is the cuddle hormone. It's the love hormone. What feels so good about falling in love. And literally your brain gets addicted to that oxytocin. And so now when the man has left the picture, you're not getting that hit of oxytocin all the time. And this is why your brain will seek it in other ways. And the way that it seeks it is by fantasizing about that man, by making him out to be better than he was. Because every time you think about that guy, you're like, oh, remember when he showed up for me for, this one event, but then he missed 10? You're getting that little bit of oxytocin that your brain is used to getting. It is literally like a drug addiction. In a lot of studies, your brain is going through similar stages of withdrawal as a drug addict, And so recognizing it's not him, it's the addiction. It's that the routine behind being with that man. And so the best strategy is you have to detox him. And I know that's hard if you love a man to like truly go cold turkey, no contact. But not even my opinion, studies prove that is the fastest way to get over a guy. Because if you and him are not together, but you're still talking every day, or maybe you're still meeting up and hooking up, your body is like getting an up down like drug addiction. And it's so difficult to actually move on. And a lot of times it leads to more heartache. I know I've been there. There's no shame here. Like, I want to be clear. I'm not judging any of you. I want you to get through this breakup as easily as possible. And the easiest way to do it is to cold turkey cut it off. If he cheated on you or he did something that is like so unforgivable, you have to look at it as he didn't lose me. I'm reclaiming myself. I'm detoxing this loser from my life and creating space for a man who is aligned for me, for a man who does deserve my time, energy, body, whatever. And so the protocol that I have my clients go through, when I have clients come to me that are going through a breakup, I put them on a breakup protocol. It's like a step-by-step process that they have to do to get over that man as soon as possible. And one thing that is like non-negotiable is 60 days, no contact. And a lot of women are like, holy shit, Carissa, 60 days without talking to the guy I love, that's so effing hard. And I get it. I have been there. But here's what happens. I tell you guys, this happened with so many of my clients time and time again. By day 15, they miss him. And they're telling me, Carissa, I don't know if we should have broken up. I feel like maybe we should give it another go. I'm like, okay, wait till day 60, though, to make that decision. And then by day 30, they're crying. They miss him. They're insistent he's the one. And then by day 45, they're really mad. They're pissed that he screwed them over. They're pissed that he let them down. But by day 60, mark my effing words, you guys, they don't care. They finally detox from this loser and they see him for who he truly is, unworthy of dating them. I always say F-boys are like a fog and you are stuck in the fog. You're so deep in your emotions that you cannot see that guy clearly for who he is. It's always the lamest effing dudes, you guys, who are convincing the most badass women that they are worthy of being treated poorly. And these women get in the F-boy fog and they're like, that loser guy is so cool. Oh my God, he doesn't have a debit card, but he's the one for me. He doesn't eat anything green and his mattress is on the floor and he follows a bunch of spicy fangirls, but he's the one for me. You're in the fog. You can't see it clearly. And after you detox for 60 days, that is when the fog clears. And it is like angels start singing in heaven. And you're like, holy shit, that guy sucked the whole time. It was just that I was emotionally attached to him and therefore putting him on a pedestal. And a lot of times, I'm going to keep it super real with you guys. A lot of times when a guy is mistreating you and he's hot and cold, your brain seeks consistency. It seeks to make reason why that guy is putting you as an option. And so the way that it will rationalize that is to make him out to be better than he is. This guy's keeping me as an option. He must be above me. That's how your brain sees it. And so I know the feeling when a guy falls off that pedestal and finally you see what all your friends told you about him, that he is not this like special, cool, incredible guy. He's literally just a guy who's so emotionally immature that he's inconsistent. Oh my God, it's like being liberated. You're finally not hooked to that guy. Heart, if this has ever happened to you guys, it is like the most freeing feeling. It's like, finally, I see that guy for who he truly is. And all your friends are like, we've been telling you, he wasn't that cool. Yes, Nina. If you know, like we've all been there. I was there in my early 20s too. It is a tough place to be. And you just have to know your brain is literally playing tricks on you. Because when a man is inconsistent, you chemically get hooked on him. It's the same way that slot machines work in Vegas. When you don't know when you're going to get a text from that guy, when you don't know when you're going to win at the slot machine, you keep texting him, you keep playing the slot machine. It keeps you hooked. It keeps you going back for more. And that's why a lot of times it's not that guy, it's that he's inconsistent. It's that he's hot and cold. And so when you go no contact, you break this cycle, this toxic cycle. And finally, you're released from the F-boy fog. So no contact, it's not a game. That's what I would really advise you guys. I do see a lot of content on TikTok that no contact is like almost like a punishment to men. But what no contact is in that term, it's actually called stonewalling, and it's a very toxic habit. In a healthy relationship, there's communication. So it's not like every time you and your partner fight, you're no contact. He doesn't get any attention from you. That's not going to lead to a healthy relationship. I'm talking about when he cheated on you. He has done something so unforgivable that you are like, it is over. I'm not mad. I'm not trying to regain control in this dynamic. I'm really done. I need to protect my heart, choose myself over this man. That is when you pull out no contact. It's not a punishment to him. It's protecting your peace from somebody who has just proven himself unworthy of your time, attention, energy, body. Hard if this is making sense or if you guys need more explanation, because I want to make sure I really hammer this home. We're not trying to build unhealthy relationships here by like every time your boyfriend pisses you off, you don't text him back for a day. I am telling you guys, although I do empathize, it is very tempting to do that when you get pissed at a boyfriend. It's not leading to your dream relationship. So we're really talking about when you and him are over. Now you're doing no contact. And it's not a game. It's a reset to your nervous system. Because when a guy is inconsistent, he's hot and cold, he's lying to your face and you know it, but you're not sure whether to believe it or not. Your nervous system is literally going wild. It doesn't know what to believe. It never feels stable. And the thing is, your nervous system, the way that it works, is it's always trying to keep you safe. And what it views as safe is what it knows. What is familiar to your nervous system equals safe. So if you are dating emotionally unavailable men, inconsistent men, back to back to back, your nervous system is wired to the chaos, to the ups and downs. And so when you go no contact, you give your nervous system an opportunity to reset. What you want is a nervous system that sees consistency as safe. And it takes a while to reset it. You have to be patient, but also hold the awareness that if you consistently seek out inconsistent men, it's a sign that your nervous system is wired for the chaos, for the up and down roller coaster. It can feel exciting at the time, but then it leaves you heartbroken. So you should go no contact if that is what your reality is right now. And the other thing is, when you are going through a breakup, you guys, your brain is hooked on dopamine every time you get a text from that guy. Every time he tells you he loves you, you get a dopamine rush. That's that reward hormone. And then it seeks to get it again. It seeks to get more dopamine. And so understand that you're likely in that dopamine cycle. And once you remove him, once you go in that breakup, you're no longer getting the dopamine from him. And so you need to seek it other ways so you're less tempted to reach out to him. So a few other ways that I would suggest getting dopamine. Number one, working out. It's not about your body. It's not that you're not good enough. It's that it's going to make you feel better. Two, the second thing is being in close community with friends. You guys, sisterhood is sacred. You never know how badly you need your friends until you go through a breakup. Like, heart if that has ever happened to you, because holy effing shit. No one has your back like your friends. But not just support, they're going to remind you why you are worthy of love. They're going to remind you why that guy who did you dirty is unworthy of your time, attention, energy, everything. And that's going to give you dopamine. Another thing you can do for dopamine, you guys, have a coffee. So if you're missing him in the morning, for example, that's a trigger point for you. Replace the habit of missing your ex with a cup of coffee. Try to seek dopamine in other ways. You can get it by going for a walk outside. Sunlight is a great option. If you live near the ocean, going for a swim. So you're replacing that dopamine hit in other ways. So you're less dependent on your ex. And you will see this will make you get over him 10 times faster. Because right now, he's your source of dopamine. When he texts you, you feel good. And you need to replace that in your life so you're less dependent on him. Otherwise, your brain is going to trick you that he was the one for you. You should reconcile. You should reach out because it's so desperate for that dopamine spike, it's no longer getting. Hard if this is making sense or if you guys need more of an explanation on that. Because it's really your brain chemistry that's not working. It's not working in your favor during a breakup. So you have to hack it. You have to outsmart it. So you're not going back time and time again to a loser. That's what happens to so many incredible women. And it irks my soul. It's like the most incredible women, they get chemically hooked on a loser who puts them in this cycle of like doing them dirty. They break up. The girl misses him. They get back together. There's hope for like the shortest period of time that he's going to change. They never do, you guys. And then it's back to breaking up again. It's a toxic cycle. You have to recognize it and choose yourself. If he was actually for you, it wouldn't be like putting a round peg in a square hole or whatever that saying is. It would be effortless. That's the relationship you want. That's how you know it's aligned for you. It's not like you have to force it so hard to make it work with this guy. It's like, it's effortless. You and him come together. It's organic. You're getting to know each other. Yes, okay, there's a little bit of hurdles. We live on planet Earth. Nobody's perfect. But relatively, he's not doing really toxic things like talking to other girls and cheating on you and following a bunch of spicy fans girls and DMing your friends and all these like truly atrocious things that men nowadays think is acceptable. So 60 days, no contact is non-negotiable. So if you guys are just joining, we are covering how to get over a breakup today. And if you missed the beginning or you have to leave early, all my lives are posted on my YouTube. So you can check out the replay there. All right, step number 2. Step number 1 to a breakup, 60 days, no contact. Not to punish him, to protect your peace. All right, it's no longer about him. You're pulling the energy back on yourself because you are the main character of this movie, not this guy. There's 4 billion men on this earth, you guys. And if this guy is doing you dirty, he is ultimately replaceable. That's not my opinion. That's statistics. 4 billion men. If he is reaching out to you during the 60 days, no contact, you do not reply. No contact means like, it's not like you're not reaching out to him. You're not responding. You're not engaging. You're not watching his Instagram stories. It's truly cold turkey. You're cutting his energy out of your life. You're focused on yourself. You're detoxing from this man. You're getting him out of your system. Literally look at it as an addiction. Because then you have the awareness that it's not actually about him. It's that you're hooked on him. 60 days is a long time. I hear you. That's the point, you guys. It's supposed to be long because you have to literally flush that guy out of your system. Yes, if you know, you know. Do you let them know you're doing no contact? No. If that man has shown you that he doesn't know how to respect you, he doesn't know how to treat you well, he doesn't know how to show up for you, whatever the scenario is, he's just shown you he's not worthy of your time, attention, energy, body. And the way that men work, mark my words, they do not listen to your words, they listen to your actions. So if you tell him, you did me dirty, Chad, so I'm going to walk away. But you're still sitting there, in his head, he's laughing at you. He's like, what a clown. She's saying she's going to walk away, but she's literally still here. And to men, it's like 1 + 1 = 5. Like it doesn't make sense to them. The way to show a guy you're actually over him is to remove your energy. And I'm telling you guys, that is the biggest F you to a guy who did you dirty, is to revoke him of access to you. That is a hot girl flex. Instead of like spending your energy yelling at him or sending him the long paragraphs that he's not going to read, it's literally lowering his value in your head to like, you're not even worthy of my time, attention, energy, body. I don't need you. That is the hottest flex in my opinion. And nothing hits that guy deeper. If he's still getting attention from you, even if it's negative, to him, it feeds his ego. I'm keeping it super for real with you guys. You send a guy a long, long paragraph, he just feels really effing important. You want to get back at a guy who did you dirty, at least I would. If a guy cheated on me, I would literally want to get back at him so bad. The way to do it is no contact. Revoke him of his energy, of your energy. That's how it's really like, oh. And then he's like, oh shit, I lost access to this girl. That was incredible. Oh shit, I really messed up because she's not playing my game anymore. That's how you really hit a man where it hurts. And taking out of the equation how he feels is about protecting yourself. Now you're protecting your energy. You're calling back your energy. If it were me, you guys, if a guy did me super dirty, I would never want to pour an ounce of my energy into that guy again. He doesn't deserve it, period. Hard if this is making sense or if you guys need more clarity on that. So you're not telling him 60 days, I'm not going to talk to you. No, because he's just going to wait the 60 days. And like, I'm going to keep it for real with you guys. Dark psychology tells us it's a bigger FU if he doesn't know when he's going to hear from you. Because a slam door, in a way, if you're like, I'm never speaking to you again, even though he will be hurt by that, there's clarity in that. There's like a little bit of closure because he knows not to expect a text back from you. But if he texts, he doesn't know why you're not responding. He doesn't know when you're going to respond. That's how you literally become the ghost. What is it? The Phantom X. You become the Phantom X because he ruminates. When is she going to respond? Why isn't she responding? Is she really done this time? And personally, I would want to get back at a guy who hurt me that really bad. And not giving him the closure of, I'm never speaking to you again. This is over. I'm doing no contact 60 days is how you do that. Because he doesn't know when to expect to hear from you. All right. Number 1, no contact. Step number 2, if you're just joining, we're covering today how to win the breakup, what to do when they come back, because you guys know they always come back. And if you missed the beginning or you have to leave early, all of my lives are posted on YouTube. So check them out there. So the second step is you need to redefine the narrative. So you have to shift internally from thinking, I lost him, or I lost this incredible guy, or this guy did me dirty, to I'm reclaiming myself. I'm repositioning myself as that bitch. I'm taking back my self-respect from this guy who disrespected me. You want it to feel empowering. And it is empowering. When you cut off a guy who's like an energy vampire, you will be shocked, even though you miss him, I know, whatever. You'll be shocked how much more energy you have for yourself. And you need to really evaluate when you're having those thoughts of like, I miss him. Can we make this work? Was it really that bad? To, did I actually lose him? Or did I lose the fantasy of him? Because a lot of times, while well-intentioned or whatever, women get super hooked on a guy's potential. And this is a big mistake. A guy's potential, you guys, is a mirage. I saw this quote the other day and it was like, imagining someone else's potential is what you would do in their scenario. But you're not them. You're not that guy. If you were that guy, you would what? Get a job, go to work, whatever. Whether that guy ever gets his shit together and does that, who's to know? But you can't date him for who he could be. You have to date him for who he is in flesh and blood right now. Because when you fantasize about a man, you get hooked on who he could be. And it is like the quickest way to break your own heart. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys, the majority of men don't surmount to that. The majority of the men, they stay where they are. And they certainly don't change for women. They change for themselves. And getting hooked on like waiting for a guy to change, evolve, be better, it's a losing game. Yeah, it's your potential. Exactly, Nina. You're getting hooked on your own potential, what you would do if you were them. So when you are missing your ex-boyfriend, you're missing him and you're thinking about him and can you make it work? Should you get back together? Ask yourself, do you miss him or do you miss his potential? And here's another step I always have my clients do. And this is like non-negotiable. They have to do this. Put in your phone a list in your notes app, a list of all the reasons you and this guy are not right for each other. Because as you're detoxing from that guy, your brain will play tricks on you and it will tell you all the reasons you and him are actually right for each other. All the reasons you should get back together. But it's literally your brain seeking that dopamine, seeking that oxytocin that we talked about earlier. And it feels real in the moment, I'll be honest. But that's why you need that in your notes app to ground you. And the way I developed this is when I quit drinking a few years ago, I read about this in a book about quitting drinking. And it literally said a few months in, your body will miss all of like the chemicals involved in alcohol, and it will trick you into thinking you can have another drink. It's fine. And you have to ground yourself into all those moments that one drink led to, like, a disaster. And it's the same way with men. You have to put in your phone, what happened last time you called him? It wasn't just one call. You guys ended up hooking up, and then he left and hooked up with another girl or whatever. Ground yourself. All the times he said he was going to do something and he didn't. All the times he said he was going to call and then he didn't. All the times you split the check on a date. Ew, literally never. You need that in those moments where you forget. The list is all the things he did to you that were bad, all the reasons you're not right for each other. So when you get those lingering thoughts of, oh, I miss him. Can we make it work? Should we get back together? Should I text him? Should I reach out? Is Carissa wrong? We can make it work. Maybe he cheated on me just the one time. You need that list to be like literally, it's like a mental slap in the face. It's like, no, girl. And the other thing I would advise you guys with this is to get an accountability friend. This is what I'm telling you guys. Sisterhood is sacred. You need your girlfriends during a breakup like nothing effing else. So every time you want to text him, text your best friend. And she will tell you all the reasons you should not. She will remind you why he effing sucks. And if not, come rewatch this live and I will remind you why you deserve better than that clown. But you have to know your brain during a breakup will play tricks on you. It will convince you he's not that bad and you can make it work. And he only cheated the one time. He didn't really mean it. Ew, no. Step number 1 to getting your dream relationship is letting go of the guy you know is not for you. This top is from Nordstrom. Thank you guys. I think it's like BB Dakota or something like that. What if a girl is really picky and find it hard to find someone better? There's always someone better. You have to get out of like the scarcity mindset of like, it's this guy or no one, and switch to an abundant mindset where it's this guy or somebody better. And yes, obviously there will be a period of being single in between those two relationships. I'll speak for myself, you guys. I'm in a relationship now, but when I was single, I go through long periods of single because I would not date 99.9999999% of men. I have like a very specific type. I have very high standards. I have very strong boundaries. And 99% of men do not meet them. That's okay because I only want the 1%. But of course, yes, that takes longer periods of being single. But the reward you reap from that is having an incredible boyfriend, having a good relationship. It's worth the wait. You have to have that like abundant mindset. And there are great guys out there. I really disagree with this whole like narrative that men suck. There are a lot of bad guys. I'm not like denying that, but there are also good guys. You have to have an abundant mindset. And the last part of this is reframing a breakup as redirection, not rejection. So say that guy out of nowhere broke up with you. He said, Carissa, it's over. I don't want to commit. I don't want to be loyal. It's so hard. It's not that you aren't good enough. We're going to keep it super real right now. It is so difficult when a guy rejects you to not take it personally. But how a man treats you says infinitely more about him than it says about you. Women are conditioned from literally birth to see all the ways we are not good enough because it keeps us buying a bunch of bullshit to finally feel good enough. We are told we have to be a certain size, we have to do our makeup a certain way, and it has to be Sephora brand or it's not good enough. And our hair has to look like it was blown out every effing morning. We are constantly bombarded with ways that we are not good enough. And if you are not actively doing the work to rewire your brain to see the ways that you are good enough, you will look at rejection from a man as more evidence that you are not good enough. It's never that you're not good enough. And maybe it's not even that that guy's not great. Maybe he's a fine guy, but you're just not right for each other. That can be true too. So reframing in your brain, I didn't get rejected. The universe is redirecting me to somebody better. It takes an element, you guys, of surrender. And I'll speak for myself now. When I was in my younger 20s, you guys, there were men that I was like, please, God, it's so funny now. Please, God, let me marry this club promoter. He's the one. Like the lamest dudes, you guys. So embarrassing. But really, at that time in my life, I thought they were the one. And the universe, in its infinite wisdom, knew better than to have me marry one of those guys. And now I look back at those periods of time where it didn't work out with men. And I'm like, thank the effing God that the universe knew what I didn't know then. Because my boyfriend now and my boyfriends then, like insane. And so having that element of surrender really helps because you guys, there's things that you don't know then that the universe is protecting you from. So if you're going through a breakup, you possess the power to reframe your reality and the narrative that you're telling yourself about that breakup. It's not that you're not good enough. It's that he's not right for you. You didn't lose that guy. You gained peace in his absence. You didn't lose that man. You lost the fantasy of who he could be. You didn't get rejected. You got redirected. Hard if this is making sense, you guys. So step number one, just to remind you guys, thank you guys. Step number one, 60 days, no contact, non-negotiable. Number two, redefining the narrative. All right, so just to remind you guys, if you're just joining, all of my lives are posted on YouTube. So if you missed the beginning, you have to leave early. You want to replay it when you miss your ex, it's on YouTube. All right, step number three. If you were going through a breakup, step number one, 60 days, no contact. Step number two, redefining the narrative. It's not rejection, it's redirection. Step number three, you are entering your glow up era. This is the time, you guys, to really hone in and focus on self-love. This is when you become the most magnetic. And we're going to talk about how to actually do this because I feel like people kind of toss it around online of love yourself, da-da-da. And I know when I was younger and I hated myself, I was like, how do you actually do that? Someone give me a formula. So we're going to talk about that because I want you guys to know actionable steps to deepen the love that you have for yourself because that is imperative to having a healthy relationship. I would even go so far, you guys, as to argue you cannot have a healthy, conscious, loving relationship if you don't love yourself first. It's next to impossible. I have never personally seen that done. It starts with you. And if you guys aren't new to my channel, you know my story. That when I was 25, I'm 31 now. When I was 25, I went through the hardest breakup of my life. It like sucked the soul right out of me. And when it was over and this guy broke up with me, he broke my heart, I hated myself. I constantly felt not good enough for him. I constantly felt like I wasn't skinny enough. I didn't look pretty enough. I wasn't smart enough. I felt broken. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to spend 6 months not dating and really focusing on how to love myself, because right now I look in the mirror and I hate myself. And so 6 months when I was 25, I focused on really developing habits that made me foster self-love. And that was when I realized, holy effing shit. And that on those 6 months, when I started to really love myself, I started attracting in significantly better men. And it was like this cosmic gag where I was like, holy effing shit. It starts with you. That's how you attract in great men. And it was like, why isn't everybody talking about this? Why isn't this taught in school? Why did I have to go through the period of dating men who hated me to realize that it actually started with me? And that's why I started this channel, you guys, because I think a lot of advice that's out there is like, go to this specific bar and wear this specific thing and do this and do that. It starts with you. That's like the thing, the secret. When you love yourself, you radiate that energy and you attract in men who are going to love you too. When you love yourself, you don't deal with inconsistent men. I'm going to be so effing for real with you guys. If an inconsistent man came into my life, I would be repulsed because I love myself. I want better for myself. And it's not like I'm holier than thou. All of you watching this can foster this energy. It literally comes down to daily habits. And I want to illustrate to you guys that I was in the same boat that many of you are watching this. You can get out of it too. So, the specific habits that are going to help you foster self-love. Number 1 is movement. And I would really encourage you guys to see it less as I'm working out every day because my body is not good enough. Because that's simply not the case. You're not working out to punish your body for not being good enough. You're working out because you love your body and you want to keep it healthy. The action is the same. The energy behind it is vastly different. One is I hate myself. I'm going to beat it into submission. I'm going to beat it to look a certain way. I'm going to work out so hard. My joints ache and I can't sleep. The other one is I love myself. So I'm going to show up for myself. And the other thing is when you work out, chemicals are released in your brain, endorphins, that make you happier. So if you're going through a breakup, you need those endorphins to feel better. Again, it's not about your body not being good enough. It's like you love yourself and you want to make yourself feel good. And so it's not like you have to run 5 miles a day. Literally, I think when I started working out, I did like Pilates every day, like 30 minutes Pilates, super low key. That's better than nothing. If you don't like working out, a long walk works too. Some kind of movement that's going to help you love yourself. It's really difficult, in my opinion, to have self-love if you don't feel good about the way that you look. It's not about being vain. It's about feeling good about the way that you're presenting. So if you don't like Pilates, I'm not pushing Pilates, you guys. I have no stake in this game. If you like Pilates, great. You like weightlifting, you like running, you like walking, whatever. You want to dance and look in the mirror, whatever. Some kind of movement. That's what I'm pushing. The second way to foster self-love is a gratitude journal. And if you don't want to buy one, literally get a notebook, get a piece of scrap paper. Doesn't matter. I have a journal I made, you guys, that's available on my website. It's in the link in my bio. But if you don't want to spend $30 on it, literally get a random ass journal, $5 at Walmart. Every morning, write down 3 things you love about yourself. 3 things you love about yourself, and bonus points if you can write down 3 affirmations. And then at night, I want you guys to write down 3 things you did successfully that day. And I know this sounds tedious to do this every day, but here's what's happening when you're doing this. Your brain, the way it works, is it kind of like if you picture a hill with snow on it. When you have a thought, it's like a kid sliding down in a sled on that snowy hill with that thought. And the more you have that thought, the more engraved it gets in your brain. And so if you are always criticizing yourself, it's very difficult to stop criticizing yourself because it's literally a neural pathway in your brain. It's like instinct at that point to tear yourself down. So you have to do the work every day, these tedious things to rewire a new neural pathway, create a new path within your brain to have a positive thought. And that's why I would argue, you guys, so many women growing up are told, like, I know in magazines when I was younger, I would read like Cosmo, and it was like things I didn't even know I could be insecure about my body, I now was insecure about. Or like my hair, it was like constantly like bombarded with messages about the ways I'm not good enough. I feel like women specifically have endured this. And so you have to carve out new neural pathways so you're no longer tearing yourself down, to build yourself up, to feel better. Instead of an inner critic, you have an inner praiser now. All the ways that you are doing things right, all the ways that you are worthy of love, all the ways that a guy would love to date you. This is imperative. And so I'm just going to remind you guys, in the morning, 3 things you love about yourself, bonus points, 3 affirmations, and then at night, 3 things you did great that day. And that's going to help you get out of that critic into building yourself up. The third way to build self-love, that is free 99, it's literally free, anybody can do it today, is to look on YouTube subliminal affirmations. If you can literally look them up for any subject that you feel insecure about. So if like you feel insecure about money, for example, you can put in subliminal affirmations about money, subliminal affirmations about self-love, subliminal affirmations about body image, whatever. And it's an audio that will play for free. You guys, this is free on YouTube. It will play in your ear. And so while you're working at your job or you're going for a walk or you're sleeping even, your brain is being rewired to think these positive affirmations that it's saying. And now that becomes the inner track of your mind. All the ways you're worthy of love, all the ways you're desired. Instead of what's ingrained in women, I would say from the patriarchy, if I'm being real, all the ways you're not good enough. Because who benefits when women think they're not good enough? Men, period. When you think you're not good enough, you will deal with more shit from a guy. You will allow a man to be hot and cold. You will allow a man to disrespect you. You will accept being paid less than your coworker who's a man. It's really effing deep, you guys. All the ways that women are told they're not good enough. And so that is why I would argue you have to do the work to rewire your brain to see the ways that you are good enough. Because the default is women think they're not good enough. Men too can listen to subliminal affirmations if you also don't feel good enough. All humans. The fourth way to foster self-love, I would say dancing. Dancing every morning to a song that pumps you up and reminds you that you're worthy, makes you feel good in your body. No one has to see. It's about you. It's not about anybody else. So those are 4 free 99 habits anybody can do. And then number 5, I'm going to plug it, you guys, is getting a coach. And it's not just because I'm a coach. It's because I too have had coaches who have changed my life. If you need help rewiring, I am so glad to help you guys. You can hear the roosters. You guys, I'm in Hawaii, and roosters are native here. And 6 a.m., they wake me up, and I'm like, mm. So if you need support, reach out, hire a coach, because literally we're trained in how to rewire your brains, all the little nitty-gritty things that you need to know. Yeah, you can hear the roosters. They drive me insane, you guys. Awesome. So if you're just joining, here's a reminder of the steps. We're covering today how to get over a breakup. Step number 1, no contact 60 days. Non-negotiable. I know you think that's a really long time. Do not care. That's how important it is. Step number 2, redefining the narrative within your brain. You didn't lose him. You gained yourself. You didn't get rejected. You got redirected. Number 3 is you are entering your glow up era. So you are becoming an improved version of yourself. You are fostering the glow of self-love and embodying magnetism. And that starts with daily habits that are going to make you an improved version of yourself. You need to feel good without that man. You need to remind yourself all the ways that you are worthy of love, all the reasons a great guy would want to be with you. Remember, it starts within. Heart if this is making sense. And then we'll go on to the next one. We'll go on to number 4. And then we're going to cover eventually what to do when he comes back, because that's also really important. Awesome. I'm glad this is helping you guys. These chickens. Oh my God. Awesome. I'm glad this is helping. All right. Number 4, you guys, how to get over a breakup. You need to understand the psychology of regret. You should expect that a guy is going to miss you more after you go no contact. This is because of a few reasons. Number 1 is an ego threat. So when a guy had access to you and now you have revoked him of access to you, it's a threat to his ego. Because a lot of times when you go through a breakup, men literally expect women to blow up and get really angry and yell at him. But when you take my advice, you don't send him the paragraphs, you save your precious breath, and you don't call him and tell him all the reasons he hurt you and you hate him. You know what he feels? His ego feels dented. He's like, wait, I thought I was really important to this girl. And I thought when I cheated on her, she was going to be devastated. But when you didn't call, you didn't care, his ego's like, and he's like, oh shit, I thought I was really important to this girl. And maybe I wasn't. Maybe I'm not as special of a guy as I thought I was. And men can't take that. Their egos cannot take that. And so then he will reach out to you. I'm not like 100%. There's no doubt in my mind. The second reason that you become more desirable to ex after a breakup than when you're sitting around allowing him to mistreat you. The second reason is scarcity. When you walk away from a guy who's doing you dirty, he no longer has access to you. And when something is rare, we lose access to it. The way that we perceive that in our brains is the value goes up. This is the law of scarcity. This is an economic effect. Think about Labubus, you guys. My friend just gave me one as a gift. They're so cute. Labubus, do they cost like $100+ to make? Of course not. It's like a little furry thing. But there's so few of them made that they are rare, and that drives the price of them up. It's the same way with your energy as a woman. When a guy loses access to you, your energy becomes rare. Your responses back to him become rare. And the way that he rationalizes that in his brain, this is just human psychology, is your value must be even higher. You must be out of his league now. He lost the best girl ever. He's going to ruminate on it. And literally your value's skyrocketing. When you sit there and allow him to mistreat you, you allow him to come in and out of your life, you allow him to essentially treat you like a doormat. I'm keeping it so for real because I want better for you guys. You become ordinary to him. And what do we perceive as ordinary? Think of something that's ordinary. I think of like a generic brand. Its value is really low. And the likelihood that a guy who's mistreating you is going to wake up one day and see your value, slim to none. I always tell my clients, a guy who is treating you like trash is not going to wake up one day and treat you like gold. That doesn't make sense. When you walk away, you choose yourself over this like lame behavior that he's doing to you. You increase your value to him. And if it were me, I'll speak for myself. If I was hung up on a guy who was treating me awful, I would want to at least leave with like a shred of dignity. And the shred of dignity is when you walk away and suddenly your value goes up to him. That's how you move in to live rent-free in here. That's how you make sure every woman he dates after you, he's looking for you in them. And the last reason that men miss you more after a breakup is there's an element of a loss of control. Because when you're always sitting around allowing him to come in and out of your life, he feels in control of the dynamic. Anytime he wants to see you, he can call. Anytime he misses you, anytime he wants you to come to an event, you're always available. He's in control. But when you choose yourself and you walk away, you go no contact, you stop responding, suddenly he's no longer in control of the dynamic. You are. And that loss of control will make him want to reach out to try to regain that control back. Hard if this is making sense or if you guys need me to explain it more. Perfect. I'm glad this is hitting you guys. So if you are going through a breakup, you should literally expect, if you go no contact, you focus on yourself, you have a glow up, that guy will reach back out. But I would really also implore you, it's not about him reaching back out. Because if you are so dead set on having him reach back out, it's still about him. Like the whole point of this is turning the energy off of him back onto yourself. When he reaches out to you, the attitude you should have is like, that's cute. As if I would respond to this guy who didn't know what he had when he had it. Like, LOL. Don't respond. It's not like, oh my God, I'm going to do all these things to try to get him back. Then you're missing the whole point. I am just saying, have the awareness, he will reach out. And it's not even about you. It's about all these things we just talked about. The ego threat, the scarcity effect, and the loss of control. It doesn't mean he's changed. That's what we know. A guy reaching out does not mean the cycle's not going to repeat. I will be for real with you guys. I used to think that getting back together with an ex was like never. But my views on it have changed. If you and him have had long periods of time that you were separated and you have both done the inner work to grow, to work through whatever issue caused you a breakup, I do believe that you can rekindle. But it takes a long period of time. It's not a day, it's not a week, it's like years. And it takes actionable change. If you're ever considering rekindling with an ex, you better make him prove it. Not what he says, not his well wishes, his intentions to be better. Those go in the trash. Those mean nothing. How is he showing up differently? Listen to his actions. That's where the money is. Action is expensive. Words are cheap. Men can say anything, and Lord fucking knows they do. Don't listen. Be better. Be wiser. And so really recognizing the psychology of regret, because this is going to keep you from getting sucked into old patterns with your ex. Just because he's reaching out, just because he misses you, just because he drafted a long text using ChatGPT, that doesn't mean you should forgive him. And again, this is why you guys need that note in your phone, all the reasons that you are not to get back together with him, all the reasons he's not right for you, all the reasons you deserve better. Because when he reaches out, I'm sure a lot of you, there will be a part of you that is like, oh, I miss him. Oh, that's cute. Oh, he's really sorry. Literally doesn't mean anything. He should have treated you better when he had you. It shouldn't take him losing you to see your value. This is, again, why you need to reframe in your head. This is proof. It's not that you were never good enough. It's that he was blind. He didn't know a good thing when he had it. He's emotionally immature. There's so many reasons, you guys. So expect that they will reach out, and no, that doesn't mean you should rekindle. If you're tempted to, come back and rewatch this live, and I will remind you. The cycle's going to repeat. This is how you get sucked back in as a woman. Yeah, exactly. This comment says, when one thing goes wrong, he will mistreat you again. 100%. He's the same person he was. All right. Now we're going to talk about what to do when he comes back. This is important because they always come back. And I know some of you are like, no, they don't. I've literally had men come back 10 years later, you guys. I had a guy fumble me when I was 16. We went to high school together. He cheated on me with another girl. I was kind of heartbroken, but I was young, so I moved on. He married that girl that he cheated on me with. They got married for a few years. They got divorced. Back in my DMs. 10 years later, guess who got the final laugh? And obviously I left him on red because I do not care. So they always come back. And if he hasn't come back, it's just the time hasn't come yet. A lot of times it's when you finally moved on. I always talk about this. It's like, it needs to be studied. It is something in the male psyche that they smell it in the air, that their ex is finally happy and moving on, that they're like, I need to bother her again. I cannot explain it. Every time it happens to me, every time I'm in a new relationship and really happy, like clockwork. Miss you. How you doing? Just checking in. I would obviously advise you not to respond. But it's just so crazy. It's like time and time again. I had a girlfriend of mine telling me too, she went through a breakup this summer and she was so devastated. And so she took herself to Spain. And long story short, she met this like really hot guy in the lobby of her hotel. And he's like, I have a yacht. Do you want a yacht with me? And she was like, say less. And so she was telling me, Carissa, the minute, down to the minute I stepped on this guy's yacht, I got a text on my phone from my ex wondering how I was doing. Like, it is insane. It's energetics. But they smell it, you guys. They're like, oh my God, she is happy. I need to bother her some more. So anyway, they always come back. Yes, and then they talk to you. They talk to themselves in your DMs. It's so gratifying, I think, personally. For like men who played you, you're like, rest on that L forever. All right. So anyway, when they circle back, because they always do, remembering it's not that he misses you. It's all the reasons we just talked about. The ego threat. He misses the control, not you. So just recognizing that. It's not that he's changed. It's not honestly even that he's sorry. It's that he just wants access to you again. And then 2, the scarcity effect, realizing you are more rare to him. You have become more special to him because you walked away, because you showed him that you were willing to choose yourself over his effing game. Do I believe in being friends after? Honestly, no. Here's the thing. You have plenty of friends in your life. You don't need this guy who did you dirty, like hanging around you and like taking more of your energy. The only scenario I can see where you can be friends with an ex is 1, if you have kids together, obviously, because then it's like really not about you and him, it's about the kids. So you want to keep it cordial minimally. But 2, if it ends super amicably, then maybe you and him can be like friendly. But if he cheated on you or he did something super dirty, no. He's been revoked of access to you, period. He doesn't deserve an ounce of your energy. So it really depends on the breakup, but I'm not super for it because a lot of times when you're going through the breakup, you miss him so bad that your brain has convinced you you're willing to settle for friends. And a lot of times women like truly think they can be friends with this guy and then they wind up getting hurt again. And my number 1 priority is keeping all of you, protecting you from getting your heart broken again from men who don't deserve you. And so err on the side of caution. You have plenty of friends. You don't need this guy who didn't know how to be a good boyfriend. If he couldn't be a good boyfriend, is he really going to be a good friend? I don't think so. So, okay. When he reaches back out, here's how to respond. There's 3 options here. Number 1, what I would encourage you to do is ignore it. He likely hasn't changed. And I'm talking about this is outside of the 60 days. Because if it's in the 60-day window of no contact, absolutely not responding. If you guys just joined or you missed it, I talked about the first point. If you are going through a breakup, you must detox from this guy. And that means 60 days, no contact. So after the 60 days, he reaches out. Option number 1 is to ignore. That's what I would advise you guys. Number 2, you could test it. If you are interested in like, okay, maybe things have changed, time has passed, you heard that he's going to therapy, he's working on himself, you could test the waters a little. And so if a guy reached out that I was interested in testing and he said, hey, Carissa, just seeing how you're doing, respond very short and like non-emotional. Because if you respond really sad or mad, you are fueling his ego. That's the thing. Like, yes, obviously not a narcissist. I'm talking about if this guy is a healthy man, whatever the breakup reason was, it's like, oh, maybe we could make it work, or, maybe it's worth revisiting. Not like he cheated on you. If he cheated on you or did something that's like absolutely horrendous, ignore. So if you want to respond, you can test the waters, but being super non-emotional, because the more emotion you put into your responses, the more it fuels his ego. If like after 90 days, you and him are talking and you're mad or sad about it, all he's thinking in that moment is like, wow, I am really important. I am so important. She's still sad. But if you're like over it, you don't care, you're bored. Like bored is the energy. He's like, I am not that special. She really was out of my league. Like she doesn't even care. She doesn't even miss me. That's the kind of energy you want to exude. And then you have to be the one to end the conversation first. That's non-negotiable. You're not impressed. You do not care that this guy reached out. You expected it. You knew he would. You're that bitch. Duh. Duh. You're not like clinging to his every word. You're ending the conversation. Respond how you would if you were dating a guy 10 times better. Like get into that mindset. You're like, oh, that's cute. It's cute that you wanted to reach out to me because I'm with a man now. You didn't know how to treat me right. So sad. That's the vibe. And so you need to ask yourself, is this a healed decision or is this a lonely decision? So if you're contemplating responding to an ex, really being honest with yourself. Is it like that I'm healed and I think we could work through it? Is he showing me signs that he's evolved, that this cycle isn't going to repeat? Or am I just lonely? Am I just feeling down that there's not other great men out there? No judgment, but if you can be honest with yourself, then you know if you should respond or not. And a great tool for this, you guys, that is free 99, use ChatGPT. If your ex reaches out to you, put it in ChatGPT, explain the situation, explain why you broke up. ChatGPT will give you an honest excuse. Honest view, like an outside perspective. But you want to be as emotionally removed from the situation as you possibly can be. That's how you like really get him back. And if a guy did me dirty, I'll be honest, I would want to get him back. Maybe I'm just vengeful. I don't know. But you have to understand that your ex will likely test your boundaries. He's testing to see if he still has access to you. And that's why I would really encourage you guys, if your ex does reach out, to at least let the first one sit. Outside the 60-day no contact, that's non-negotiable. There's no if, ands, or buts. You have to detox from that guy. Outside the 60-day, if he reaches out to you, he's just testing to see if you respond. And I am telling you, so many women that I have met with, and I was this when I was younger, they respond to an ex right away and then he does them dirty again. And it sucks. Like it hurts 10 times worse because you're like, I knew better. So you don't want to get sucked back into their game. And you also don't want to gaslight yourself into thinking you can't get sucked back in. A lot of times when you're like starting to heal, you'll be like, I can't play his game. I've evolved. I'm over him. And then you talk to him and you get sucked back in. Men are like vortexes. They just like, So Easiest way to not get sucked back into that scenario, don't respond. Choose yourself. Be unimpressed. And also, a text is free 99. It means nothing. He could have sent that text to like 30 girls. It doesn't mean anything. I think the standard for men is like so low right now. So your ex reaching out via text, cool, cute. You don't care. If you're following my advice at this point, you're dating several men, you have a roster, you're being courted by men, you're evaluating men who are right for you long term. So when your ex reaches out, you're like, oh, I don't care. When you have a roster, it puts you in the power position as a woman. Then you're less likely to respond to men who mistreated you because you have other options on the table. When you have one man or no men, then when your ex reaches out, you're like, oh, I miss him. Having a roster puts you in the power position as a woman. I will die on that hill. How do you finally let go of the guy that didn't treat you right? If you love him, you love yourself more. I'm not saying just because your ex did you dirty, you don't love him. But you have to kind of detach your emotions from it and want better for yourself. And the test I always give women is to ask yourself and be super fucking honest, you guys. Would I want my daughter to date this man? Because if you wouldn't want your daughter to date that man, you have no business dating him. And a lot of times it's easy to get sucked into these cycles with men and allow them to treat you badly over and over again. But when you see it with your friend or your daughter, it's easier to see it non-emotional. So if not your daughter, think of your best friend. Like I think of my best friend who I literally would do anything for. I love her so dearly. If she came to me and was like, Carissa, I really like this guy, but he's following a bunch of spicy fans girls and he's really inconsistent. He calls me in the middle of the night to come over. Do you think I should date him? I'd be like, I don't think that guy should be within 10 feet of you. Like, I want better for you. Want better for yourself. It's easier to see it in other people, though. That's just the way the human psyche works. And so recognize just because it's hard to let that guy go, if you love him, it doesn't mean he's right for you. I think a lot of times women misconstrue like, oh, I miss him, therefore we should get back together. No. Like just because it's hard to let go of a guy doesn't mean he's the right partner for you long term. And the longer that you sit around with a guy who doesn't deserve you, the longer you entertain a guy who is treating you badly, the longer it's going to be for you to have a healthy relationship. The longer it's going to be for you to meet a guy and date a guy who is right for you. And if you need help with this, book a one-on-one with me. You guys, I love meeting with you. I love working through this stuff with you. So for some of these more specific situations in the chat, book a session with me. And so you have to remember, like when you are getting over a breakup, the goal isn't to get him back. And sometimes women reach out to me, well-intentioned, you guys. There's no judgment because I've totally been there. But they're like, what steps do I do to get him back? You have to rewire it. Like, how do I get myself back? How do I attract in a better man? The goal isn't to the goal isn't to get him back. The goal is to never abandon yourself again. You book a one-on-one with me. I have a link in my bio. So if you go to my bio, there's a link. It's a Stan store. You can book a one-on-one with me, or you can DM me and I'll send you the link. Either one. So hard if this is making sense before we go on, you guys, because this is really important. You have to rewire your goal in a breakup. Your goal isn't to get that loser guy back. Your goal is to get yourself back. To take the energy off a guy who never deserved it in the first place and pour into yourself. Because the more you pour into yourself, the quicker you are going to attract in an even better man. And you guys, this is how bad bitches move differently, in my opinion. Like, bad bitches don't get rejected from a guy and like use it as an excuse to like get into a cycle of like toxicity. They see it as like, oh, this guy's not aligned for me. Therefore, I'm going to pour into myself, become a better version of myself, and attract in a better man. There's a very key difference there. And I really want to make sure you guys understand that. Because if you're going through a breakup, it's not about him. Like, he's just shown you he's not worthy of your time, attention, energy, body. No more pouring into loser men. That was the old you. Now you're the new you, the better you, the one who loves herself, the one who prioritizes herself, the one who holds strong boundaries and doesn't allow toxic men in it. Ew. Toxic men are gross. Every time I see them, I'm like, ugh. Hard if this is making sense, you guys, before we go on to the next point. Or if you have any questions on that. Oh, really good question. So how do you change your mindset if a guy settles with someone you deem not as good as you? This is a really common strategy of narcissistic men, emotionally immature men, codependent men, avoidance. When you go through a breakup, they will rebound like tomorrow. And I will be honest with you, it will hurt. Like, if you loved a guy and tomorrow you see him holding hands with a new girl, ow. And that just shows you who he truly is. First of all, one, understand it's not genuine. He's not like developed the same connection with that girl that you and him had overnight. And then two, you have to rise above the instinct to compete with that girl. I really, really, truly believe you guys, we have enough going on with men. We have to have each other's back. And so I know it feels in that moment like he picked her over you, but understand whoever gets that guy who treats women awful is not the winner. The winner is the girl who gets rid of that guy. The winner is the girl who gets to move on. And so I would encourage you, if you are dating a guy, he breaks up with you and he rebounds like the next day, feel bad for that girl, because it's not like he's totally a new person overnight. It's that he's repeated the cycle with her. And inevitably, one day she will be you. And so in that way, literally, if it were me, I would feel bad. It'd be like, she's in for a rough ride. I just got off that roller coaster. Good luck to her. Resist the urge to compare yourself to her or see all the ways you're not good enough. It's not about you. It's about him. It kills me. So many amazing, great women making men's behavior about them and all the reasons that they're not good enough. Shitty men are treating everybody shitty, you guys. Hurt people hurt people. But loved people love people. So just know that if a guy is treating you awful, he's hurting you and several women, that is reflective of a man who hates himself, who is in the most internally conflicted state. People who love themselves, they don't go around wounding people. All right, so if you're just joining, we're covering today What to do after a breakup. And if you miss the beginning or you have to leave early, all of my lives are posted on YouTube. So you can catch the replay or if you need a reminder. All right, the next thing, when you are going through a breakup, you have to understand that you need to do a nervous system reset. So the way that the nervous system works is when you are triggered, so say like rejected from a guy, your nervous system goes berserk. It goes into fight or flight, and it literally thinks that there's a tiger about to eat you. It's like your caveman brain is like, oh my God, my life is threatened. And so you need to regulate your nervous system to know you are safe. Because as long as you're triggered and you're in fight or flight, you're not able to act in a way that is for you, not against you. And a lot of times, if you're in fight or flight, you will see that guy as a solution. That's the other thing. It's a little bit of like Stockholm syndrome in that way, where it's like you will see this guy as a solution and your body will forget he's the one who put you in that triggered position. Just the way it works. So you need to do the work to regulate it, because if you have a regulated nervous system, it's easier to detach from that guy. It's easier to see him for who he truly is. It's like secret villain. And so my favorite way, that's free 99, is breath work. Look it up on YouTube. It's free. They have like 10-minute ones. Every time that I'm feeling triggered or tired or I don't know, just need a refresh, I do a 10-minute breath work. I feel like I just got an energetic shower. I'm like, woof, feels so good. Or if I'm in a bad mood even, I'll do it. And I'm like, oh God, I'll like shake off the bad mood. Super easy and free. And so the last thing I want to cover is to not confuse attention from a guy as intention. So even though a guy texts you, your ex texts you and says, I miss you, it does not mean I can commit to you. It does not mean I can be the boyfriend you deserve. It does not mean I've gotten over all of my attachment issues and I can be loyal. A lot of times men are just craving access to you, to put it plainly. He just wants to see if he still can keep you as an option. It's super effing lame. Again, do not see it as if I was good enough, he would commit. If I was good enough, he would step up. It's wow, he's just showed me who he really is. Not worthy of being my partner. So internally think, that's cute that you miss me, but what are you actually ready for now? Are you ready to be a boyfriend, or is this cycle going to repeat? And if you go back to him instantly after a breakup, you go back to square one. All the work that you have done, all the cleansing that you've done, unfortunately, it resets. That's why you have to be strong. And you have to have an accountability buddy, like we talked about. So having a friend that is really close to you, that you've shared with her, listen, I'm hooked on this guy. We're hot and cold. I really like him. I'm devastated we broke up. And I need you to hold me accountable to let go of him. Every time you want to reach out to him, reach out to her. Every time you want to text him, text her. Every time you want to send him the paragraphs, send them to her. And she will remind you all the reasons you deserve better. And another great way to do this, that's free too, is to use ChatGPT. If you are having a hard time getting over your ex, put in ChatGPT. I have all my clients do this too. Give me a pep talk on my ex. Explain to ChatGPT what happened. And it will break down for you all the reasons you deserve better. Or you can rewatch this YouTube and I will tell you plainly, you deserve better than a guy who doesn't know how to treat you right. A guy who doesn't know how to treat you respectfully. Period. And then you need to really assess what went wrong. And here's the thing. This can be at times a hard pill to swallow because I know it is so much easier to look at a breakup as like you are the victim. That's so much cozier than really taking accountability for how you showed up in the dynamic. And I'm not saying in any way, to be abundantly clear, you're responsible for a guy mistreating you. He and he alone is responsible for that. But here's the thing. It's very empowering to switch out of a victim mindset that is like, oh my God, men are treating me awful. I'm just going to perpetuate this cycle and let it happen time and time again. And switching that into a victor mindset that accesses how did I show up to make this man think it's acceptable to treat me like that? Because that is when change happens. If you want to be a victim and continually be like, why aren't I good enough? He is this horrible being and I am just a victim who allowed this to happen. There's no change in that. And a lot of times that leads women to have the same relationship over and over again. Same relationship, new face. But when you take accountability for the ways that you allowed him to push your boundaries, all the ways you abandon yourself for him. And a lot of times, you guys, it's micro ways. A lot of times it's little things like accepting last minute dates, going over to his place in the middle of the night. Once you really take accountability for the way that you showed up, then change can happen. This is literally the switch from victim mindset into victor mindset. And it can be hard. I think it's like there's a lot of advice online that is like men are awful and women, poor us. And I get it. That's really comforting. But when I was growing up, I had a really tough mother. And she always pushed me to take more accountability. I would call it radical responsibility. That's when the change happens. That's what empowers us as women. And so when I was growing up and I would cry to my mom, this guy did this to me, da 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 da. My mom would say, how did you make him think it was acceptable to treat you like that? And so I'm not saying any of you are responsible for a man mistreating you, but I'm saying there is an opportunity for growth when you take accountability for the ways that you could have maybe shown up differently. And then in the future, you can show up differently. So I will say, for example, for me in my early 20s, I was a doormat. I allowed men to walk all over me. I allowed them to text me last minute and I'd show up at their doorstep. Like all these ridiculous things. And it wasn't until I took ownership of my life that I was like, wait, I'm making it okay for him to mistreat me. I'm kind of like in a way green lighting him to like keep me as an option because I'm accepting that treatment. So hard if this is making sense. I think there is a lot of opportunity for growth and change. And that's how you get out of the cycle of dating emotionally unavailable men over and over and over again. It's when you realize, oh, here's how I could have showed up differently to get a different result. Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting, a different result. But when you show up differently, you hold strong boundaries, you love yourself, you prioritize men who prioritize you, then you're going to get your dream relationship. That's when the change happens. So I do think that's a hard pill to swallow. I think, but I'm your guys' real friend. I'm going to tell you the hard stuff. And the hard stuff is sometimes you can access how you can show up differently in the future to get a different result. That's empowering to me because no longer are you sitting back like a victim and like, oh my God, I'm just like in the passenger seat of these relationships and men are driving the boat and I'm just like having to deal with all of this mistreatment from them. Now you're in the driver's seat of your life and you're like, here's how I'm going to show up differently to get a better relationship in the future. All right, you guys, that is the end of my lesson today. How to deal with a breakup like an ex-lover girl. I'll do a few questions if you guys have any. I'm sorry for the roosters in the background. They're so annoying, you guys. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. And again, if you missed the beginning of this or you missed parts of it, all my lives are posted on YouTube. You can catch them there. If you want to book a one-on-one with me, the link is in my bio, or you can DM me and I'll send it to you. I love meeting with you guys. That like makes my day. But thank you so much for all your questions. And I'm sending you guys so